clock don't rest. Street lights flicker, got a blade in my chest. Not fear, just thrills as the steel shines thin. In the glow of my insomniac, sit and spin. Late night cuts where the stories begin. Fingers on fire and the metal's my kin. Stream it live where the fearless win. This is Juvan's night flick, sit and spin. Glit in the dark, oh the dance so slick. The edge does the talking, every sound it clicks. World's asleep but the shimmer won't fade. Precision's my game and the craft's my blade. Late night cuts where the stories begin. Fingers on fire and the metal's my kin. Stream it live where the fearless win. This is Juvan's night flick, sit and spin. Under moonlight, the sparks they fly. Sharp as my wit, slicing through the sky. The rhythm of midnight, sharp edges sing. Tuned in, live to the late night king. Drip of the blade, it's a beauty so raw. The curve, the balance leaves the world in awe. Restless minds find their solace in steel. Crafting a story no day could reveal. Late night cuts where the stories begin. Fingers on fire and the metal's my kin. Stream it live where the fearless win. This is Juvan's night flick, sit and spin. Edge does the talking, every sound it clicks. World's asleep but the shimmer won't fade. Precision's my game and the craft's my blade. Late night cuts where the stories begin. Fingers on fire and the metal's my kin. Stream it live where the fearless win. This is Juvan's night flick, sit and spin. Under moonlight, the sparks they fly. Sharp as my wit.
Play. Late night patty whack, give a dog a bone. Grab a snack, sit right back and never be alone. It's time for Insomniac, sit and spin. A knife live stream and a gathering of friends. Insomniac, sit and spin is about to start. So come on in and do your part. Juvan's Night Flicks is the channel you seek for new knife reviews and a show every week. Play. Insomniac, night, patty whack, give a dog a bone. Grab a snack, sit right back and never be alone. It's time for Insomniac, sit and spin. A knife live stream and a gathering of friends.
A little bit, but are you high on cigarettes? And when that stuff runs out, you're gonna wanna make it. Are you high on cigarettes?
Let's watch Juvan's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvan's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvan's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juvan's weirdness and get high on cigarettes. Do you know that you're right or wrong? 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 He don't smoke 'em, but he loves it when you do. That's why he's high on cigarettes. And if you find him, you should light him up with you. He's getting high on cigarettes.
Hey guys, I have to let 5 minutes slip away there, just in case. Just in case I say something I shouldn't say. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Welcome to Tuesday Insomniacs Sit and Spin, where my screen's not spinning. Hold on. What the? What the? All right, back to where we were starting. Maybe it was spinning for y'all. It wasn't spinning for me. How is everybody doing? Welcome aboard. We've got Mr. Groundfog in the house. Henry G's in the house. We got Marco Yay. Channel member. We got Bubba up in the house. What's up, Bubba? Welcome, my friend. We got Miss Kathleen in the house. Nice to see you, young lady. I said I was starting in 5 minutes, but it threw in a 45. I was like, holy smokes, they're all going to bail on me. Paul Mills, channel member. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. We got 1931 Leatherworks, the man, the myth, the legend. I got to show Terry something. Look at that abomination. We're going to have to talk. Show you what this is. Not to stop in the live. But this is a simple, I do not need credit card holders. I need a simple, it doesn't have to have a snap, a little leather thing. Doesn't even have to have a pencil loop. Check out my bougie Blackwing pencil. Made in Germany like they did in 1969. Look at that point. I don't journal, but I do take notes for video ideas. And I do write out like schedules of knives that I've got to shoot. But I eventually need to get one, Terry. We need to talk, my friend. We need to talk. What's up, Addicted to Blades? Good to see you, man. Welcome, everyone. And Terry, I don't think I gave you a channel member. Jesse, good evening, my friend. Good to see you, buddy. I started a little early, figured I would. Why not? Tuesday nights are kind of a wild card. We could stay late. You guys might get tired and want to get out early. It's totally up to y'all. I am here for the duration. I've got a Starbucks and I've actually got a Red Bull White Peach right over on the couch. I've got knives spread out in too many places. Let me show you what I'm carrying today. So I carried my Lamia Friday the 13th from a couple of years ago with a distressed black front, no fancy milling, light milling on the back. This is a crew wear edition. And then in my left pocket, I carried my MZear little 14500 light, my 16500 or my 14500, wait, 18650 light shipped today. Me and Tate ordered one from work the other day, and I've got a bigger one of these lights. And I will do reviews on them. So I will learn how to use the menu. But the knife I carried was my little mini trapper case Warncliffe, just because I work at a case store and I like the way this blade slices. But then my most exciting knife was a surprise fixed blade that came in. My buddy Andrew and I traded a few Finch knives, a Finch collection that I wasn't using for one of his new knives coming out. And I was just expecting a knife, but he also had a leftover guard dog, which I don't have one of these knives in my collection. And he sent this out in 15N20. It's super slicey, slight hawkbill, but not anything that's intimidating to sharpen, and very slicey. This thing, I've just done the unboxing on it, which will go live in a day or two. But that little bit of hawkbill just keeps that cut and separates that paper. It is awesome. I love Lucky Dog knives. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take an executive decision and show y'all what's coming in and what I'm most interested in. Keep in mind, the ones you're going to see here are either going to be drawings or they're going to be some of the bougie ones that were show specials. The ones that are going to be available are going to be in my Carta, like his other builds. All right, look at this. That is the Fin Dog. And then this is the Trail Dog. And then Ranch Dog. I already have one of those. Bulldog, I already have one of those. He is doing a bigger Bulldog. The Bulldog is a great knife. This is the Bulldog Bruiser. The reason I'm not jumping up and down on this one is because I already have the 4 3/4 inch Bulldog, but that's a beautiful knife. And my little 4 3/4 inch is perfect, but the one I'm most excited about and I'm hoping to obtain, boom, 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 is the Bear Dog. Look at that big, beautiful spear point, kind of nest. Look at that blade. Keep in mind, just my Carta handles, nothing super fancy. Modified spear point. I love that knife. Anyway, I just thought I'd show that off. Those are coming soon. Joe Isabella, what is up, channel member? Neil McKenzie's in the house, channel member. What is up, Neil? Good to see you, brother. But yeah, Andrew's drop that's going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks going to be epic. I'm excited about it. I'm hoping to have him coordinate a Friday Night Flicks visit with a his drop so we can kind of promote that. I think that'd be cool. But yeah, a couple of other things I got in this week from my buddies at TKL. This is the DP2, the Dale Peterson Scout version with a little sheep's foot blade. It's a little 2-finger knife with a tall, flat ground sheep's foot blade. What is exciting to me, this knife, but really this knife is built on the same platform as my adversary and where is it? And the combatant. So if you look at the combatant and you look at the new Scout, they have the same handle. This is in CTS XHP. It's super slicey, taller, flatter, thinner grind. I'm a big fan. Almost just cut my monitors loose, which would have sucked. But yeah, it's the same handle and the same grip as my T-Kill Adversary, which is a Warncliffe, my T-Kill Combatant, which is a drop point, the most tactical one of the three. Well, I'd say that Adversary is pretty wicked too. And then that Scout is just a great EDC knife. All of them are great EDC knives. The Scout's probably the best. So yeah, that's what I've been hanging out with. And then just jazzing on my little EDC multi-tool that incorporates scissors, a knife, and then 3 implements that I can change out. Not only can I change out the small implements, but without any tools, I can change out any of these small tools. So it'll hold 3. I've got a chisel and a wire stripper, which is this one right here that locks into place. And it's not a pry bar. It's an actual, you can't really see it under my lights, but it's a chisel with 2 really sharp wire strippers. And then I can pull out my sheep's foot small blade that I added. These blades are like $5 a piece. Or I can pull out my ruler with a screwdriver and a file. Or check this out. I've got all these other implements. The one I've got to do is I've got to go to Lowe's. So I've got to take something back that was supposed to be a case knife, but it wasn't. It turned out to be what we thought it was going to be. We thought we were about to get the best deal on case knives ever. But anything that's supposed to be too good to be true is going to turn out to be a paint roller. The good news is all I've got to do is take it back and get my money back. But what I've got to get done is one of the implements I got for my Roxy tool is this little guy right here, which this little guy is a house key blank. So I can get my house key, put into that if I want to. Watch how easy this is. Now I've got my house key. Sheep's foot blade. Chisel. And my house key. Or I can put my box cutter in there. So I think it's pretty cool. I'm actually pretty stoked. I'm going to take out my sheep's foot blade real quick. I don't need that. Pull that out. And I'm going to take my box ripper. This is a great Amazon box opener. And I'm going to pop my box ripper in there. I just cut my fingernail, so that's kind of been a pain in the ass in this whole experience. All right. Now let's do this. Now I've got a locked in box opener. All I got to do is take my blades just like that. My feedback to them was because they also make a whole lot of primary blades. The one I've got's a utility blade. I said, how cool would it be if y'all offered some premium blade steels? This is the little thing if you don't want to hold the blade with your finger like I just did. You can put this around it, lock it down. It's a safety thing. But you can pack out like 8 or 9 tools. And it's shipped with this blade, which is a box cutter blade. And it allows you to take off the other side of the scale. I know y'all don't care about this. But you can take out this knife and put it in any blade you want. The bearing fits into the liner. Very ingenious. Very, very ingenious system. You just gotta make sure you get your liner down, your scale down, and then you click these little doohickeys. And it's locked back in place. And if you want to adjust the tension between, like if this were to get loose and you wanted it to be more tight, or if you wanted it to be looser, because you can one hand flip it, you can use a T8 to adjust this. And this blade ships with the T8. So it's pretty cool. I was impressed with it. I will say that. I wasn't expecting it to be so cool, but it turned out to be very cool. I was impressed. Matt Maurer, what is up, buddy? Bugsy, what is up, man? Good to see you. I hope everybody's having as good of a week as I am. I say that kind of jokingly because I am beat ass tired. I've been worn out. I fell asleep yesterday for the first time ever and almost slept through work. I was wide awake. I get up every morning like at 5:36. I fell asleep, just dozed on the couch at about 11:30. Woke up about 12:30 and said, "Wow, I better got myself ready, everything ready to go." Sat back down on the couch. 15 minutes later, I was on the cusp of being late, so I had to rush, and it just sucked. That was Monday. That's how my Monday started. And today I was just groggy. But again, my ADHD medicine, because of the Strait of Hormuz, I've not been able to get what I need to get, which is something that I take daily. And it just leaves me scatterbrained, leaves me dopey feeling. It's the pharmaceutical companies controlling me with ADHD medicine that they make me think I need. But it's all good. Tomorrow's a new day, and I will go and pick up my medicine. By God. Let's go with a little more sit and spin. How about that? Something with a little more I guess we can't talk about the virus. There's all kinds of things we can't talk about. I was gonna say I've got a little drop that if the right thing came up, like if we had any news come in, like if let's say Bees choked on chicken wing, but he was okay. We could type in this. Where is it? Hello, guys. Beast is choked on a chicken wing, but he is okay. I repeat, he is okay. Back to you, John. I'm trying to add content and layers to the show. Either that or this. I know. That's hardcore. That's always a way to shred 4 or 5 people. Get them out. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, we're always coming up with things to do. I could talk just forever, and that gets boring. I could talk about knives, but I only have so much that I can really offer. I can offer one of the biggest surprises to come across my desk this year is this knife that I'd planned on sending back to my brother Ryan at Level or Luft Concepts. This is the LTL for little. It's a little USA made, Arizona made S45, slicey but yet thick in the handle knife that I really, really like with a kind of revolutionary 3D printed sheath. I think I'm going to keep it. I'm going to sell a couple of knives. If anybody's looking for a TKL 003, and I can show it to you if you'd like to see it, let me know. TKL 003. Matter of fact, I've got to get a Red Bull. I will grab said knife. Y'all sit tight. I would serve you an ad, but since I love you guys, since I love you guys, I will not serve you an ad. This is how stupid I am. Instead, I'm going to say, be right back. It'll play for just a second. Okay, it's locked up. Sit tight. I'm going to still have to exit the stream. Well, maybe not. Hold on. Let's see if it'll let me stay in chat. Let's see if it'll let me stay in chat. See if I go back to media. Boom. All right. I'll be right back, guys. Sit tight. And just so y'all know, it's StreamYard that sucks. It's not me. I've been reading a lot of people in help sections that are having the same type of issues I am. It's not fun. I apologize. I apologize. It is not good. Nothing about it is good. But anyway, the TKL is an agent series, which is designed or designated by this long, slender handle. And this has kind of a striker blade. Drop point. And it's not designed to be a ham slicer. It's designed to be a kidney puncher. Anywho's, hit me up for this. I've got a Guardian 3 that's got 3 blades. I've got a couple of really tactical knives I don't use that much. I use more of my EDC knives. But if anybody's in the market for a fixed blade, DM Javon. Or is it an 04 Tactical Puko 1931 Leatherworks? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. You could be right. TKL, I'll give y'all a secret. TKL is one of the 3 companies I will not accept commissions from. They try to pay me commissions and I donate it back to the company. Why? Because they're US companies. That's why. I do it for them. I do it for another USA made company, and I do it for one more USA made company. And I always will. It's not to me about making $10 here, $15 here. It's about knowing that I'm doing my part to help a US company and I'm donating my little bit back into their, Billy getting his overtime. I don't know. Whatever. I'm an idiot, but I do it anyway. 30K, Hunter, what's up? The Raider from TKL is probably my favorite knife until I got the Scout. The Raider's got a little bigger handle. The Scout, to me, for an EDC guy, is perfect. Super thin CTS XHP, which is a blade steel I really like. I've not sharpened it yet, but it is a winner. And I'm just a fan. I really am. I think Tim and Suzanne are great people. I do not want to make commissions off of any sales that I generate them, because everything I share with you guys about them is just the way I feel about their knives. I've always liked their knives since I had 800 subscribers, and they let me check out a Raider and a Piranha. I'll never forget that. I was a nobody. Still am, but I was a bigger nobody then. Mick Ranger, what's up, brother? Channel man, remember? But yeah, I thought I had a Red Bull. I just have a cherry Dr. Pepper, which is not as climactic. And I think I may have just left it in the car, which doesn't help me a bit because I'm not walking out to the car unless I get like uber tired. Mick Ranger has been a member for 3 months. You know what that means, guys. Thank you, Mick Ranger. Let's see if I can get my media to work. Where is Sly? There he is. There's that devil. Did that crash on y'all too, or is that just crashing on me? Well, I'll make fun of my computer as it struggles. This knife, I just did a review on it. This is a knife from Luft Concepts that I'm very impressed with because I was a fan of their first knife, which was the Avant, made by Riot. This knife is not made by Riot, but it's very Avant-like. It is D2. It is micarta with inset liners. It's made by a company called Fox in China. It's done exceptionally well in terms of detent, fit and finish, ceramic bearings, the whole 9 yards. And it's right about $90. So typically when I look at a budget knife, I look at it at $100 or less. And I've got a budget knife that really impressed me at $52, the Centurion. That does not mean that this Luft knife does not impress me with its steel build pocket clip, its aluminum pivot collars, its aluminum back spacer. It's really waxy, nice burlap micarta. It's action. The D2 blade does not hurt my feelings. It's just a nice knife for $92 or $90. I'm sure after taxes it would be closer to $92. But it is definitely a good one. What's up, Cliff? Good to see you. Cliff Broad is in the house. Everybody give Cliff a what's up. RSO under my tongue. Don't know what that is, but it sounds delicious. Anything that's under your tongue that is soluble has got to be either good for you or good for you. I unfortunately have something good for me in a slip. This is a GEC Bullbuster review to come. Very tight walk and talk, but I love this knife. It had a little bit of blade wrap where it had a couple little chips, but I got those sharpened out and it's not hitting anymore. But just a little micarta, carbon steel, sidebuster style knife, except it does have a half stop, a very distinct half stop. And I'm a fan, a big fan. But back to the Blackwing pencils. I've become obsessed with these. I bought a sharpener. Look at the point on this mofo. Watch this. It just writes so smooth. And it smells like cedar. And they're kind of bougie. They're not super bougie, but for a pencil, they're bougie. And I write a lot. Like I say, I don't write scripts, but I write notes about knives that I'm going to be talking about. If I haven't had a lot of time, especially on unboxing, I'll go to the website, try to get information that I can share with you guys on the initial unboxing. And then I keep a schedule of knives that I've got to make videos of. Keep all them on a page, and I change that page out a couple times a month because stuff comes in and out. And if we get weird stuff in it, knives and more, I'm going to try to take advantage of and shoot that. Even though those videos don't do well, and I can understand why, because they're usually weird out the fronts, or they're knives that a lot of people probably don't think are available. But any of those knives at Knives and More, they're a phone call away, guys, and you'll get them just as cheap there as you will at Blade HQ. They price everything around Blade HQ prices. Nice guys to do business with, and they've got good stuff. I got you. Very good. What's up, Cliff? Cliff's kicking it. What happened there? Oh, there we go. Kyle Coonley, what is up? I don't use a pen, dude. I've used a pen before. I've got a pen. I've got bolt action pens. When I'm working and I don't need it to be erased, I use a pen. But when I'm taking notes and I'm scratching, I like my pencil. And specifically my Blackwing pencil. I'm a big fan. So much so I got another pack of mats coming tomorrow. Because that's how us ADHD people go. We just dive in deep. We'll start off with one. These are pearls, and the mats are darker than the pearls. And I've also got, I didn't buy a set of them, but I've got a natural, which is the hardest, the firmest. And then I think it's a 602, which is the second firmest. That's how they're, I guess, graded. But they all smell really good. They all seem to last a long time. I haven't thought about buying one, nor will I. I might. But they sell a little thing for if it gets short, you stick it in, kind of like a cigarette if it gets short. So I guess people wrote with them. Probably because there weren't many available. I've got plenty. If y'all are looking for a pearl pencil and you're nice to me and you win a giveaway, I will throw in a pearl pencil. They are winners. Other stuff cool. Brother Byron sent me a couple of things. Surprised me with a Nathlander Kickstarter little knife that was cool. But what I think impressed me the most was this Barlow from Rosecraft Blades. I say that because we carry Rosecraft Blades at Knives and More. And I took this knife down and showed it to Tate at Knives and More. And he goes, "Oh, that's the Barlow. That's the one we can't get in stock. It's probably the most popular one of their designs." And they've got some very unique designs, but that's just a sexy design for a big full-size knife in D2. But unlike a lot of split joints, this guy is sharp. It came from the factory sharp. Not as sharp as the Chickadee that Kyle watched me cut with today because he sharpened it. But for a factory edge, very sharp. And this is not cutting anything except paper. Crispy Critter, 59 trips around the sun. Dude, we are so close. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think it was at 6 months. Hold on. No, we're less than that. Congratulations on your 59th successful trip around the sun. I will have my 59th trip in 2 months, 2.5 months. If I'm granted those days. If I'm granted those days, I will welcome them and I will trek on and trek on. No doubt, Bugsy. Happy 59th rotation day. Think about it. We're all hurling through a rock in space, spinning faster than we could ever realize it. And we're just meat puppets. That's all we are. We're just like meat covered skeletons on this rock, hurling through, and we wonder why we're even alive. All you got to do is have a piece of space rock hit you, and your history. Neil McKenzie, you can't be 60. Are you really 60? I would have sworn you were younger than me, but I aged not gracefully. I put a lot of miles on this young body. I put a few. I scare little children sometimes, but I can't help it. I really thought I had a white peach. I know I do. It's in the car. If I get re-energized, is it even worth it for y'all to sit here for 3 minutes? As you can tell, I've already made the conscious decision to go get my Red Bull because the Dr. Pepper's just not doing it. I will be right back. Here, I'll put on some music for you to listen to. I'll put on some quiet music. Let me find it. It's not AI music. Where is it? I had some. Maybe this is it. Enjoy. Enjoy, people. I'll be right back. I'm just getting a Red Bull White Peach out of the car. If I come back with it, I will be disappointed. Give me 120 seconds. Well, that was a bust. But anyway, I will try to not focus on what I don't have and focus instead on what I do have. I've got you guys. That's saying a lot. I've got Nanopus.
You can call me Nannerpuss. And guess
And I can turn this music off now, which was the wrong music, actually. The music I was looking for, I used to have my favorite. Here it is. I used to turn that down to about here, play it in the background, and it would just calm me. It was chilling. 376, what's up? But anyway, yeah, it was a back seat, front seat. And I think what I did is I drank it on the way home. I think I drank it, opened it right before I left work, and then drank it on the way home. And I bought the double energy and didn't think I needed another Red Bull, but that sucks. No, I didn't accidentally leave. I was hunting a Red Bull that I thought I left in the car, but I didn't. It wasn't there. So, what are you going to do? I've got broken widgets in StreamYard where I can set up polls that nobody can answer. It's just a conundrum. Happy. It's been 59 years and 9 months. Good to see you, Todd Carr. Welcome, brethren. Good to see you, my man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We were just hanging out. We were just talking about lives. We're talking about knives. I was actually talking about a Roxxon multi-tool. It's a cool tool for me because it incorporates shears instead of my normal pliers, which I've got a bunch of. Oops. This one. Not doing it right. Oh, I was pulling the wrong side. It's got a side that just pulls out some nice little shears that hide away in the side where you don't even see them when you're not using them. And then it's got these 3 little implements that are super cool because they can be switched out for other implements. They're all locking. That's a key. I got to get that cut at Lowe's, so I'll have my house key on there. Then I've got a box opener, which is this one right here. Now that's a chisel and a wire stripper. And then finally, I've got the one I just put on, which is my box cutter. That's just a little Amazon box ripper. Little chisel blade. Good for ripping open boxes. But just cool little tool, in my opinion. And very flexible. You can go to their implement page, which we're going to do right now. Roxxon, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Because I don't do a lot of pew-pews, but this has a lot of tools that are specific for pew-pew tools that you can buy for it. So it's called the Flex Companion or Flex shears. Let me just find the implements. Go to the implements, short implements. We'll go by tools, short implements. These are the small ones. Then I'll show you all the blades you can get. So all of these are little small tools that you can put in that back area where I had 3. But like this wire stripper takes up 2 slots because it's got a little thing that moves. So if you use this, you can only use this and one other tool. All the others take up a single slot. This one takes up 2 slots because it's a long ruler. But everything from a scalpel to a bit driver to pin and tweezers to little scissors, it goes on and on and on. But then you can go back here to the large implements. Whoops. Damn it. And this is where you can switch out your knife blades. Like it comes with a drop point and a box opener, but you can get left-handed blades, right-handed blades, files, X wrenches, big scissors, pliers that take up 2 slots, a sheep's foot cutting tool, a comb, saws, you name it. I mean, it's pretty cool if you like a tool, it can be more personalized to what you're looking for a tool, right? If you don't need a full multi-tool, which I carry in my little carry-all bag, but I think the Roxxon, if I get it set up with the stuff that I like, might be a winner. But yeah, they've got more than just the flexi shears. They've got the flexi tool, which has got the entire pliers, that whole 9 yards. So did everybody have a good week so far? We're only on Tuesday. We're on Tuesday facing a tired Tuesday night, so it may be a shorter Tuesday night. Paul, check them out. I don't, like I said, I've had this one for about a month, and I've not taken the tools out and pried with them or anything, but I've used them for cutting open boxes, for use the scissors for a lot. The scissors are great. And the knife works very well. I can recommend it. I think it was like $64, $54. And I like the implements. The fact the implements are only $5 to $7 and you can get whatever you want. So it's definitely pretty cool. Oh yeah. It's getting close to Blade Show. I'm not selling any knives because I'm not looking to buy anything at Blade Show. I'm looking to just go to hang. I've got some tables where some relationships I've got to kind of firm up, some stuff, just a few that I've got to film. And that's all I'm doing there. I'm not hunting anything because I hadn't bought a knife probably without trading it in 3 years, 2.5 years. So I'm not chasing anything at Blade, although I'd like to. I do hope to hook up with some new relationships over there that I can do some business with and do some reviews for, but that'll be seen. I am going to go by Vosteed's booth. It'll be the last time that I initiate contact with them. Then they're dead to me. No offense. I just won't be wasting any time with them. And they make nice knives. I won't ever say anything different. I'm just not going to buy their knives and show them off because I don't buy knives, period, much less knives in that price range. See, I don't know how to. Does the Leatherman arc? See, I don't know how to take a Leatherman apart. Maybe just because I haven't. I've got the classic, the one that Lefty had with the G10 handles, and I've got a Skeletool. Because what I loved about the Leatherman when I was first in the Leatherman were the bit drivers. But yeah, I think I want one of Greg Bedford's American Service Tools. What is it? ACK? What is it? American Service Knife? I don't think they've come out with a lot of implements yet, but they're definitely cool. I'll tell you what. North Mountain Blade. I took these scales off, and they use a security Torx. And I happen to have a little pack of security Torx that came with one of my Torx drivers, and they're basically a Torx with a little hole in it that hooks into this, and you guys all probably know this, that hooks into a little nibble or nibbling in the bit, but it makes the bit altogether, I think, much more stable. And these, I love seeing them in there. That is a very secure bit. And these scales come off very, very well. They can be swapped out. I wouldn't want to swap them out because I think the scales are like $30. They don't have anything outside of G10 in different colors. And if you're going to get one, I think White Mountain Knives has these for $120. This is a Chop mini fixed blade in SLD Magic. not the sliciest knife because of its blade geometry, but it's a, what do you call that? A kiridashi? I don't know. Maybe not a kiridashi. Some little Japanese implement for committing hairy carry. Oh, oh. But really liking my Lucky Dog, guard dog with the slight recurve. Love that little knife. I think Andrew designed a killer there. It's got a really nice finger depression here for that point. The more I cut with the minnow and the mako, the more impressed I am. And I have no doubt that the minnow in Magnamax is going to cut more cardboard and still cut back working edge on the paper than the Magna Cut minnow, because this one's still hair popping. And it's probably cut, I don't know, 15 pieces of 16-inch cardboard. Strips. All the strips are the same size. Not scientific. It's close, but it's not scientific. We got to guess. We got Bugsy.
Yo, what up, everybody?
What's up, man? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I got you.
Good, good. I know coming in sometimes can be a little bit of a squirrel. Let me pull my knives off of there. How have you been, buddy?
So what's up? You're not looking to buy anything at Blade? Nothing?
No, man. I didn't last year either.
See, now you took that screen down. Now I lost audio.
Did you really? Come back in. Dude, that's crazy.
BRB.
Let's see. Hold on. Can you hear it now? All right, I'm pulling it out. Come back in. That's funny. Poor Bugsy. But no, I didn't buy anything at Blade Show. I went not planning on buying anything. I did buy 2 knives. I bought the TRM tag along because they had a couple of protos there. And I bought the Tenable Par, which was a new knife. Can you hear?
Yeah, I got you.
Cool. No, but I didn't plan on buying anything last year either. I did pick up 2 knives. I bought a TRM tag along in that PSB 73 or whatever, that prototype material. And then I bought a concept par. But no, I don't buy a lot. What I try to do is visit people. I try to go see as much as I can and experience as much as I can. But I try to spend half a day going to the tables that I know people I want to meet with, just to find out if we're going to work together this year or not. And then I like to film tables that I just want to film. And I'll do that one afternoon. And then that night in the hotel room, I'll put it together and it'll go live the next day because I don't edit. I just piece it together.
Yeah, I really don't enjoy editing as much as I thought I would. I got a bunch of programs and stuff, and I was like,
well, you ought to learn it, Bugsy. If you can make your content so much better with a little editing if you get comfortable with it. For me, I never embraced it. I use Microsoft or iMovie from my iPhone. It's Mick Ranger, Blade Show fun, dude. Thank you. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate you, and you get a big ass hug for that. Let me find my hug. Where is it? There it is. Thank you, Mick. I appreciate it, dude. I'm not going to do what my man Ray did. You know, when he went to Texas, he live streamed it. He live streamed like eight hours of Blade Show.
Yeah, well, someone hooked him up with that book bag, right?
With the book bag, and he was doing it for super chats. Still, yeah. I wouldn't do it I wouldn't go and run around for people for that would just be too hectic for my eggshell psychological makeup. I couldn't do that.
I think you should check these guys out.
What is that?
That's a Selby.
Selby, like with the S?
Yeah.
Where'd you find that knife?
It's an American maker. You would like their little. They got little neck knives. They got little belt knives, and then they got these ones. I like the little ring on it.
Oh, they on
Nasty.
Instagram. Hold on.
It's I think it's Nitro V.
Selby SL. There's so many brands I don't know anything about.
Selby knives.
All right, all my social.
Crap.
You'll have to show me. You'll have to make sure I look at them. Do you have any that you're going to go look at for sure that you know you're going to see? I know you're hunting a few things.
I always say what's up to everybody. I really am interested in like the Spyderco, like the concept ones, what they're going to come out with next year. I'm looking for Space Monkey. I'm looking for. I got to go talk to John over at Grimsmo.
Ah, you got
About
service, or are you looking for something new?
He wants to see my Grimsmo because he said something. He doesn't. He's never had that issue with those knives. And I said, well,
I
that's
can
my
show you one.
that's my style.
Hey, I got something to show you, man. Check this out. You know how I'm a fan of TCal?
Yeah.
This is the new Scout. Built on the Raider, or excuse me, on the Combatant and the Adversary handle. But it's a sheep's foot that's tall and thin. Guess what it's made out of? CTS XHP.
Okay.
Which is a blade steel I like. I've got it on my Shaman. I haven't had it in a lot of other steels, and I didn't know TCal was working with it. They also sent me the DP2. The DP1 and the DP2 are homages to Tim Kell's father-in-law. He may not still be with us. He was going through Lou Gehrig's disease, but he carried a small little knife with him when he was in the woods in Kentucky when he was a boy, and all through his life he carried a small little drop point, which was a DP1. This is the DP2 that just came out. Nice little Nitro V, tall, thin blade. What I like about this is it shows a slicer EDC side to TCal, where I'd always seen more of a tactical, tougher blade. You know, and not that these are weak blades by any stretch of the imagination. It just seems to have a more of a function on EDC. I like that because they've got the room for it.
Yeah, a lot of knives don't need to be so thick, you know.
Not all of them. You know, they really all.
I think a lot of people do that just because they order a large batch and they cut a lot of different blades out of the same kind of steel, you know. So a lot of stuff that should have been on a thinner steel maybe just ends up on the same thickness steel as other things.
That there's a lot of truth to that. Depending on how you get it rolled when you buy it, how much you have back in the warehouse that you've got to use before whatever, you know, I don't know how they have to consume materials where they've bought and they've got some stuff pushed to the side because they're using something different now. You know, I don't know at what point you got to go, I got to go back and use that because it's waste at this point.
Yeah, like I wonder how much like warehouse like stock like Spyderco has of stuff like S30V or something, you know, like
think your Chris Reeves, your Spydercos, your Medfords, your people that have I don't want to say this because I'm just guessing here, but have almost played a commodities market on steel and bought a bunch of steel like S45 for Chris Reeves, different steels for different makers because they thought it was a thing that they're going to always be able to use, but they've got a lot of it that they can't just flood the market with. I think more than we would think.
yeah, I mean,
probably has a lot of steel. I think a lot of them do. And if you
I just wonder how efficient they are. Like when Spyderco kind of switched over to, you know, from S30 to, you know, whatever what is it now, S45 or is it
it's a Spy 27, what, right? Is it all Spy 27 or not?
No, I don't think so.
But you're probably right.
I think they have a lot of stuff.
I bet you this. I bet you Spyderco, out of all of them, with their books and the way they work with steel, they've got a better handle on how much they've got in of what steel that they could pull it up. If you made the call to the right person, they could probably tell you.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these other companies would probably have to pull from here and get somebody to go out and manually check it. I bet.
Yeah, because they work with a lot of, you know, a lot of different makers, you know, and like if I was going to be making a knife with them, I wouldn't want to just use their standard steel. I'd want to use something that, you know, I specifically, you know, wanted for that knife. You know, so I wonder how that would work. Like, I wonder how that would. I wish we had like a. Do we know anybody that's done like a collab with Spyderco in our group of friends?
I don't, not really. Tri-State knows Smock, but I don't know how much Smock would know. I don't know how much I'd trust him.
About like BBB or trying to
Yeah,
think. We got to know
I,
somebody,
I
right?
think I know who we know who would know what's going on at Spyderco would be Justin at OCD for EDC because he's so plugged in with them and their factory shop. He knows a lot of people there. He's a club member, an early club member, under number 20.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited. He said he might be going to Blade, so
He's been every year. I've hung out with him Saturday night in the lobby before anybody goes to the bar. He's a great, great dude, man. Yeah, I love
yeah.
that. I don't drink, but I like hanging out at the pit before we go. We usually rally over at Stevie's. I don't invite myself because I don't even know if they're going to be at the same place. But just going to a place where you can get away from some of the. Sometimes I like being in the hoop around at least one night where you can be around people that you get to meet, people that you're not really familiar with. And then sometimes it's just nice to go hang and chill with people that you haven't seen in a while.
We should just go get like a burger and drinks and just hang out as long as anybody could stand to, you know?
That's the way to do it. I mean,
I got my car parked nearby, so I can always go for a cigarette or, you know.
that's how it always is. I mean, it's just you've got to make it. And the thing we learned early on is getting everybody coordinated at any time to do anything. It'll never happen. You just
Especially
gotta,
food. Especially
yeah,
food.
you just got to
That's
kind of go when you go and don't feel like
like
you're hurting anybody's feelings. And
yeah, like this year there's gonna be a couple people trying to go with me to get like a beef rib over at that barbecue place. I'm not gonna wait up, you know, like we gotta get there, so I'm gonna
yeah,
go
it's gonna
and
be a
if
certain time.
yeah, if people show up, they show up. Last year I went by the last not last year, but when I brought that one to Shane, I was there by myself. I got two beef ribs. I ate one and brought one back. And
But you
everyone's like,
probably did
"Yeah,
it in
I'm gonna go
record
with you. I'm gonna
time.
go with you."
You probably did it in record time because you didn't have anybody you were tagging along with.
I wasn't anywhere near as fun because
Yeah.
I usually go over there with Super Steel Steve and like my wife comes sometimes and my mom was there the one year. My mom and my mom's boyfriend.
Is
A lot
Steve
of
gonna
fun.
have a table this year?
I don't
Have
know,
you
man. He like won't respond to me. I don't know what the deal is.
has he I haven't been on his Instagram or anything lately to see if he's active, if he's doing anything, if he's posting,
I sent stuff to his Instagram, just busting his balls, you know, like silly stuff. But
if he's posting. I know it's a hard grind, dude.
yeah, but come on, man.
No, I know. I'm not making excuses. I just
Hit me back with a text, you know. We're like, yo, leave me alone. I'll be like, oh, all right, cool. You know, that's cool too. Like, you know,
I just know he deals with see if he's even posted anything. It is Steve Clary Custom Knives is most recent, right?
yeah, I think so. SCCC,
He
SCCCC.
hadn't he hadn't posted a knife for 10 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I mean, maybe he's hustling super hard, but like, you know,
Dude, when you're
I'll stop texting you if you just hit me up.
when you're hustling that hard, you're posting the stuff you're making. I feel like maybe he's in
Yeah,
a
maybe you're right.
kind of in a spot. I hope not. Maybe Shane's talked to him, but I haven't. Shane was going to be working tonight at the shop. I think he's kind of out of pocket. Hopefully, he's keeping all his fingers and all of his joints in one place. Cheeto Blue Man Groupie. I saw the blue title. I was like, who's that? Because I can't barely see. I've got to get 1.5 readers, or I've got to come up with a way. I can make this all big, but it doesn't sync. Like if I go pop out chat, make it big, Now it's big, but it's not. Let's see.
Magna Cup models are the newest and most expensive.
I was just
Yeah,
reading that.
yeah. Victorinox is all right. I just don't. I won't use it.
Well, I don't know if
I should suck.
Roxxon's going to pay any attention to me, but if you look at these implements, they are $5 for D2, I think. And that's like, why won't you offer it in a couple of, like, not all the blades, but just a few of them in a nice steel for $20? You know, I might buy
Yeah.
one for my tool, even though it's a big tool, but it's going to be something I carry in my go bag anyway. It's not going to be something I ever carry with my pocket clip.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like the concept.
I'm not a multi tool guy. I never have
Again,
been.
I won't use it unless it's like an emergency thing. And then at that point I'll be like, well, I have 10 different things to choose from.
That's true. That is true, dude.
I end up doing that to myself and I'm like, I don't even like I was even thinking about selling this one.
Just because it's too beautiful for your hand.
Well, I just don't really carry it that much. Don't because I don't want to mess it up. It's got a really deep hollow. It's so thin on the edge. Just don't really. I don't know. I like
And
it, and I've carried it
I
a
can
bunch.
understand that. I had that conversation with a guy today who, after he bought, I forget which knife it was, but he quit buying knives and he's been selling them. And I understand it. He kind of found his grail, his knife that makes all his others seem less than.
Yeah, like I would trade this for a new Holt. That's like my other one.
Is your other a Spectre or haptic or neither?
What the hell was that one? Oh, so many knives.
You don't have to tell me. Yeah, you don't have to know.
Holt. No, that's cool. I think it's a Spectre. I think it's whatever the first one was.
But isn't that one you've got cooler, or do you just not like it as much because of
Oh no,
something?
I love this knife.
Don't
I
carry
don't
it.
know. I don't like I said I don't carry it much. And if there was somebody that was like, yo, I love that. Like if Ryan was like, yo, dude, I have to have that thing, I'd be like, all right, you know.
Because you feel like he'd enjoy it more.
Yeah,
And
or if like
you
somebody
know
in the chat
Ron's
really
good
had to
news,
have
don't
it,
you?
you know.
You know Ron Stews? He had a knife come in today.
Oh yeah.
His S90V Lamia.
Oh, there you go.
Did he
What do they
waited?
run?
I don't know, but he waited. He tried no less than 10 times. He tried his wife to get in on a drop. And he kept thinking he wouldn't even convince himself till he got a shipping notification that he'd won this one because he didn't get his payment kicked back. He goes, maybe I got it. I was like, dude, if they haven't kicked your payment back yet, you got it. He was like, I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. He's so excited. You know,
I
I
wish he
love
was
him.
here to show
Yeah,
it off.
he was in the chat. Maybe he'll jump in. He's got a link. I think he said somebody said they had stuff to do tonight. All those guys are busy.
Yeah, I should be doing shit too. I just was like, screw it.
What do you got going? You in the middle of a work week?
Oh yeah. This week I'm at home though. So
It's
now
still a
I
lot
can
to
actually
do.
like get some shit done.
Anyone getting that new Spyderco button up? What's that?
That's that. It actually kind of looks cool. It's a cheaper, um, it's a button lock kind of. I don't know what. It doesn't look like anything else they've made yet. So it's
Really?
kind of interesting. I wish it was a better steel because I think it's ACR or something like that. But it's still, you know, but I think it's like $100 or less.
Huh. I haven't seen anything about it. I usually see the newer Spyderco stuff coming out.
Yeah,
Unless the guys at Nas and More haven't paid attention to it, which is very
we went
possible.
over the some of the new knives on your channel the one day, but right when we got to that point, I think there was like 3 or 4 people on, and I think we kind of glazed over that model because it was not
Spyderco button up.
I think it's a
Spyderco
Chinese made one, so I think it was not very popular.
button.
But
Oh, yeah.
like, I love this thing.
Oh, this thing looks. I mean, yeah. When I look at this compared to like a CGRB, not that it's going to cost anywhere like that.
I'm also into the mule teams. If I see something cool with a mule team, I'll get one of those.
If you ever need somebody to do you really bougie handles, Dane over in the Baltics, he's a guy who did some for my buddy who I met when I did a review on his. He's in my members' lives now. Super nice guy. I'll show you his work. This is a nice knife. It looks
Yeah.
very, very PM3
Yeah, it looks a little. It's almost. It's like straighter. It's not as like.
curved.
Yeah, or like leafy. It's a little less leafy.
What's it got? Feeling 8CR.
Where's my pair 3 at?
Okay.
There you are.
Man, I dropped the ball. Blade HQ's got this new affiliate program where they work with creators directly, and it's been nice because you can communicate with them and ask them questions, and they have a you don't have to just deal with the big affiliates to be. What's up, Sobex? And all their email was going to my spam, but they just did that new website, and they said, well, any of y'all that'll go through and grade our website, we'll give you $100 coupon. I missed that, of course. But I mean, shit like that, just cool shit. You can go through and say, hey, this is cool. This is cool. This could be better. But if you go to it now, like if you go to new arrivals, it's really set up for a mobile. But all the stuff is very clean.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of fell out with them.
I haven't bought anything from them in 4 years. Because the last 2 years I was buying knives, it was only DLT, River's Edge, and that was about it.
There's one knife I wish I can get back, Spyderco, that I sold. It was a knife center exclusive titanium frame lock military with carbon fiber on one side, S90V blade. That thing was awesome.
Was it a compression lock or a liner lock?
It was a titanium frame lock.
Titanium frame lock.
So it was different than most of them.
Because we've got a good to see you, Sobex. I hope to see you at Blade, buddy. We've got a couple down there. We've got a military with the compression lock and the G10 carbon fiber flex stuff, and then we've got a liner lock that I really like. This, I think, the military.
Yeah, if you ever handled the frame lock one, you would like that one too.
Oh, I bet.
It was really nice. You know how the liner lock's a little kind of like it's not quite that easy to get to it. Like it feels a little crampy, like pinchy in there. Dude, that
Frame
frame
lock
lock
gives
was
you all the
so
world.
nice. It was so nice, and the S90V big ass military blade was. It was
And when
wicked.
I started playing with,
And I've never seen anyone. I've never seen them again. I've never seen one at anybody's in anybody's collection. I've never seen another one at like a show, anywhere ever. Never at a Spyderco booth. Nothing.
I wonder why. I guess they're just that rare.
I don't even know what like you'd think that people would have those in their collections and stuff. Like I've seen people with all these militaries and not that in there.
You wonder if it's that rare. I mean, maybe it is.
Maybe it is, and I'm
I play with a
really
little
kicking
Burt
myself.
Chubbs, which is a great little knife. It's expensive. It's like $400.
The what is?
Burt Chubbs. Have you seen that? The spider.
Oh yeah,
That's a cool little knife.
yeah,
The grind is sick.
yeah. The money on knives now is crazy though. I don't remember spending that much per blade.
Yeah, I think that one has always kind of been up there, but you're right. The money on the Riot knives, the imported knives, is very, very much crazy. Very much out of what I remember and feel comfortable with. And then you see some that I would never even consider, like the Potico or Polico.
What's that, Mick?
Potico or Polico. Those knives are like in the 450 range. They're Chinese.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
yeah. I don't know if it's like a handmade thing or what.
I don't think they are. I think they're just You know, they think they're using 3D machines and they're putting a value
Yeah,
premium on
yeah,
it.
Mick, I did. I don't know. I can't find them anymore. I was gonna buy another one.
Another one of what?
Those Spyderco militaries from Knife Center.
Ah,
If anybody can find one, let me know.
is that the only place you saw them?
Yeah, titanium frame lock with a carbon fiber show side. S90V blade.
Because I'll ask if you got my text, don't you? Or shoot me. Do you have an old listing for it? Could you find
no,
it?
I
Or
mean,
just
I could try to look it up on my phone.
or just send me what it is, and I'll ask Tate at Knives and More. He might know where it is and where to get one. What's up, Edgy?
What's going on, man?
Yo, what's
We're
up,
being
bud?
cool with
Bugsy,
all-
you my boy, but if I find a titanium frame lock S90V military, I'm gonna buy that motherfucker.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was
even-
one of the nicest Spydercos I've ever held.
Even if I did, I'd have it a month and sell it to you because I haven't found a titanium frame lock on the planet that I like.
This thing was nice.
Yeah, that's why I love this so much because it's titanium. So I have titanium, but it's not. A frame lock.
But it's a button lock.
Something
If it was
tight.
a frame lock, I'd already be sick of this.
Trying to think, man. I got something titanium you would like.
They were talking about multi-tools in the chat, and let me tell y'all about the deal I got. Dude. I don't even remember what he charged me. I think Terry sold this to me for $60, but it's a Leatherman Wave in a case he made like 2 years ago. I'd have paid $60 for the fucking case. Like, it's that good. And this is not his later work.
It just holds it perfect, doesn't it?
It does. But watch this. I was playing with it, and I got to thinking, there's a lot of times, guys, I don't carry a pocket knife, as bad as I hate to admit it, because if I have to use my pocket, I am not believing that just happened.
Cut your finger off.
No. Well, I've got a multi-tool right here. Let me fix it. I sat it down. I sat something down next to this fishing lure that I got from P&W, and the damn hook got caught up in it. I got to dig it out.
you're gonna impair yourself. You're destined to impair yourself.
I got it.
Carbon fiber.
Hang on. Watch this.
S90V.
What's up, Ronald Dobbins?
There it is. Where is it?
So I did this, and I realized it's a little too small, but I'm sending him the measurements to make me one for this knife and one for my Manix 2, because this one works perfect with my Sage 5.
Are you going to have that where it mounts on your belt?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know that doesn't excite most people, but my neuropathy, if I've got a knife in my pocket and I have to reach in to grab something, when that metal runs up this part of my hand, it feels like I've grabbed an electric fence.
Ah.
But with a pocket knife in my pocket's useless. I can't put anything in my pocket. And I do all my pocket knife stuff left-handed. So now I can just clip this onto my belt, because you can take it on and off. I can just clip this on my belt, take my pocket knife out with my left hand, use it. That's how I'll be carrying all my pocket knives from here on out.
Nice,
I
man.
like it. And it makes it a lot easier for you to get to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. And if it gets in the way, I don't have to take my belt off. I just reach under,
KD.
catch that spring, slide it right off. Yeah.
So this says it's an NKD Spyderco military sprint run. What's NKD?
NKD isn't that the designation that military knives get?
I don't know.
I think they are. I think an NKD stamp. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
Does that not mean that they're sold with a military number?
knife.
Kyle, I actually have an electric fence story. I haven't grabbed one in a long time, but I've got a pretty good electric fence story, and it's not peeing on it or spitting on it.
You lean against it?
No, when I was little, so you guys know I was adopted, but I've been around my birth mother a good bit in my life. She's now my aunt, and
Could be Cheeto, but I thought it was.
she was a really, really good looking woman, but in and out of toxic relationships. That's why I was adopted. But at some point, she ended up staying with her sister, who's my mother, the woman that raised me. And my mom and dad were at work, so it was just me and my Aunt Jackie, who's actually my birth mother, at the house together. Well, she was taking a shower, and I was outside riding my bicycle, and it had been raining. I come around the house kind of fast. I was only like 5 years old. And when I hit the brakes, it didn't even slow down. I'd never ridden on wet grass before. And I slid into the electric fence.
Oh, shit.
Over it and wound myself up in it. So there's no getting away from it. It's shocking me the entire time.
Oh, no.
And I started screaming, because I was a small child. I was screaming, and all the neighbors ran outside, but nobody could see me because I was in the weeds wrapped up in this electric fence. And Jackie comes running outside in her top, nothing but a towel, finds me and untangles me. So it's shocking her too. She untangles me out of the electric fence and wraps the towel around me.
And she's naked?
Yeah. And runs me back in the house. And for the next 25 years, every time I was around any of the men in my neighborhood, they would bring up how hot Jackie was, and then getting to see her butt naked carrying me into the house with the towel wrapped around me.
So was it electric fence like today where you got like one hot wire running through it where you got caught up
it
in
was
that?
3 strands, and all 3 of them were hot.
We're hot. Ugh.
Yeah, and I tumbled through them and tied myself up in it. Couldn't
Yeah,
get out.
you were pretty much ensnared.
Yeah, and it never stopped shocking me. I remember it, and it wasn't that it hurt that bad. I was just a kid, and it scared the shit out of me more than anything, But it was a bad situation. But Ricky, the guy that lived across the street from me, he owned a hot rod shop, and I practically grew up in that shop. And he used to tease me about it all the time. But what was funny was he didn't know that was actually my birth mother for a long time.
He thought it was just your Aunt Jackie?
Yeah, he thought that was just my aunt because he'd all the time pick at me. When's your aunt coming back to town? Now, he may have hooked up with her back then. My birth mother was, she had pretty privilege, and she was a little bit wild. So, yeah.
Well, what is it? When you get lemonade, you serve it up?
Yeah. She was, and it makes sense because she was the daughter of the queen of the Dixie Mafia. Her mother was one of the most sought after women in the Dixie Mafia. I think she went through 3 or 4 of them. Like one would go to prison, she'd get divorced and married another one. He'd go to prison, she'd get a divorce, marry another one. If you haven't watched the stories of the Dixie Mafia, guys, if you try to watch In the Red Clay, it's hours and hours to hear the whole story. But there's a bunch of videos where they've broken it down and just kind of give you the high points for about an hour and a half. But if you watch it, keep this in mind that, and I'm not defending my heritage or my family. They did some horrible things. But the things those documentaries don't explain to you is the fact that the judges and the sheriffs and everybody that was trying to get them, they were all just as fucking crooked.
Oh yeah, it was.
They were more organized crime than my family was. When Buford Pusser run us out of Tennessee, and they went back. Buford accused the Dixie Mafia of coming back and trying to kill him, and they didn't kill him; they killed his wife instead. But when you watch all these documentaries, that's all they talk about. The Dixie Mafia tried to kill Buford Pusser, but his wife died in the attack. It was several years later they proved that Buford Pusser killed his wife. It was just convenient to blame it on Dixie Mafia.
He had a scapegoat.
Yeah, yeah. But it's a very good listen, man. You know, and it
Was
would
that
take
the 60s? Was that the 50s?
John. It goes all the way back to right after the Civil War and all
Oh,
that.
really? So
Yeah.
that's wild.
It was generational because people don't understand what the North did to the South after the Civil War. Like, you know, they would come down here after the war was over. They were still raping our women, stealing our land, killing people at will. It was a horrible situation for Southerners that had nothing to do with the war. For Southerners who never owned a slave, they still lost everything. And after a while, these rednecks got sick of it, you know, and that's why it was so hard. The FBI talks about the reason it was so hard to break up the Dixie Mafia, though, was it had no structure. There was no head guy. There was no structure to it. It was just, they just make a phone call. Hey, we're going to go, you know, we're going to go wipe this dude out. And people would just show up. They'd do it. And then when it was over, they'd all go home and disperse. It was really hard for the FBI to track any of it.
Because it was all kind of happening in real time.
Right. Yeah.
Kyle, jump up.
Yeah. Kyle, maybe that's why my mama moved me away from it. Because she knew I was too goddamn forgetful. I didn't have to get myself in trouble. But my brother got deep into it, really deep. It's a damn wonder he's not.
And the mafia part of it?
Yeah.
I mean, because once you get in, aren't you kind of in?
Well, there's one way out, right?
It wasn't. It's hard to compare it to the Russian and Irish and Italian mobs. It's just hard. It was just a different structure. But what's weird is they killed more than all of them together. But nobody likes to talk about it because it was so embarrassing. Like the number of people the Dixie Mafia killed. I mean, you're talking about judges and sheriffs and witnesses and city council members, and
Nobody was off limits, really.
no, if you oppose them, they took it. Like I said, I'm not defending it at all. I'm not bragging. It's just the way it was. But you can only put your boot on somebody's throat and stand on it for so long. Eventually that guy's going to get up, man. And that's what they did. They got sick of it. You know, I've touched on the cocaine plane out of Panama that landed on Treat Mountain. You know, my pawpaw cleared that landing strip. But yeah, they were just doing whatever they could do. But nobody got rich. Well, if you watch the interviews, there was one or two guys that got fairly wealthy. There was a strip club owner that got pretty wealthy. But they were doing all this stuff, and the money went to everybody. Like Treat Mountain and damn, I forgot the name,
But they were spreading it around.
Yeah, that whole community, they were kind of like Robin Hoods, you know. They'd go rob a casino, but they fed everybody in the neighborhood with it. You know what I mean? They because you know, people don't understand that when Northerners come here and took those people's lands and their ways of making a living, you know, they condemned them to a life of poverty. You know, they couldn't get it. The Northerners owned the businesses, so they couldn't even be gainfully employed, and so yeah, they turned to crime, and nobody lived a life of luxury or wealth. Everybody just took care of everybody.
Well, when did that start? I mean, was that like before the Civil War, or when you had that affluence, or did that affluence come back?
Well, I mean, they were, you know, they were all dirt farmers, you know, barely getting by before the Civil War, but then they lost everything because of it. History doesn't teach you that they came down here and took people's shit, and you know, they would come through. Northerners would come down here at harvest time and steal your entire harvest and take it back up north and sell it because you didn't have any rights. You were those people at that time.
Right.
People want to talk about races being oppressed. Those people were oppressed, and many of them had nothing to do with that war. They were never rich enough to own slaves. But they would pass through and sleep with your wife and daughter whenever they felt like it. While holding you at gunpoint, and you weren't allowed to own a gun. History doesn't teach how evil all that really was.
Yeah, men are and I mean humans are evil.
Right.
Without giving
Yeah,
up.
and I'm not to say that the South wouldn't have done the same thing if they'd won. That's entirely possible. You're right. It's a human thing. It wasn't a northern thing or a southern thing, but history has very conveniently demonized Southerners, and there's still people to this day that do that. When me and Donnie first met, that was the first argument we had. Right off the bat, he assumed I was a racist because I was a good old boy. I am a good old boy. In his mind, a good old boy is a racist.
It has nothing to
A
do with it.
a good old boy is a guy that will stop and help a stranger change his flat in the rain. A guy that
A simple man.
Yeah, literally driving down the road, you see a guy struggling to get something out of the baby's truck. You just pull in his driveway, help him get it out. That's a good old boy. But those stories don't get told.
They get told, people just don't listen.
Right. Now, on my father's side, they were slave owners. They were the Lyles were the biggest slave owners in the state of Georgia. That's why there's so many black Lyles in Columbus, Georgia now. Because I don't know what the situation was like when slavery started. They may have been horrible to those people. But the later generations, those slaves procreated too. And the later generations really lived like sharecroppers. No, they didn't have any rights. They couldn't go vote, but they built a house. It was like, hey, you work this land, you keep a piece of it. I mean, do you really think those white people were coming out there with plates of food? No, they were sharecroppers. They let them keep a portion to feed themselves
while they worked the greater good.
So when slavery ended, all those guys took the Lyle's last name because they were like family. Now, like I said, I'm sure if you back up far enough generations, there was probably some horrible shit. I don't know that, but I'm not going to say that there wasn't. But in the end, by the time slavery was abolished, they were like family. They had multi-generational households that just sharecropped.
Right.
They learned after a while, you can't beat a guy with a whip every day and expect him to work hard. You're going to physically impair him from working hard.
Yeah. And you're billing no.
Yeah. Yeah. And one guy can't overpower 500 extremely athletic African workers. You know what I mean? It just wasn't like that everywhere in the end.
It's fear training too.
Yeah. And there's people that hear me say that and think I'm so sick of it, but somebody would accuse me of being racist for even talking about it that way. But it's just the truth.
Have you ever seen the study done with monkeys that they train like the first group of monkeys that if they reach for the bananas at the top of the thing, that they all get drenched with water? And then they bring it, and like after that generation's been there for a little while and they get that training, they let new monkeys in. And if the new monkeys go to get the bananas, the other monkeys will kick their ass because they don't want to get wet. So there's like a whole a training thing involved in that psychology.
Right.
It's interesting though.
Yeah.
Taking the Pavlovian dog to the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing about that is though, man, I mean, it was a dark time in history. But at the same time, it's just like every dark era in our lives. It led to what we are today.
It's not like it just changes locations. It's like it's like the shade,
Yeah. Nobody wants to talk about, the Irish slaves and the Chinese slaves that built the railroads. That shit never gets talked about. The Irish slaves, the thousands that died digging the subways and digging the footers for all those bridges in New York.
We were the first ones here, man. We were here before, like on the islands. If you go down to the Caribbean,
yeah,
the oldest gravestones you find are Irish and the Spanish, the British, all the different like wars that were fought there. But there's tons of Irish graves.
Yeah, but they were being oppressed before they ever came. That's why they came here.
Oh yeah. Well, no, they were brought here.
treated them-
They were brought here as slaves.
Right. The
into
English
the
have
Caribbean.
always treated them as slave labor.
Yeah, or indentured servants.
Right. It's just odd to me that the only one that gets talked about are the Africans who were rounded up by other Africans and sold
Into
at force
slavery.
into slavery. And it was horrible. And I'm glad it doesn't exist anymore. But it was everywhere, dude. It wasn't a race thing. It was just a power thing. If you didn't have any money, any power, you could be enslaved at the drop of a hat.
And it's like that in a lot of places still today. Look what we did to Libya.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's still, luckily, it's not still going on here.
Yeah.
But,
well, how many kids go missing a year?
Yeah. But yeah, you got a point there, Bosie. I take that back. It is still going on here. But it's
at
happening
an insane rate. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
If my kid disappeared, there wouldn't be a town left.
Yeah.
I'd go door to door, and there'd have to be a military to stop me.
Right.
I'm gonna find this kid. I'm gonna find who did something. You know what I mean? Like fucking.
Yeah, I mean it's a big country, but it ain't that big.
There's no going home and figuring, going to sleep.
Right.
I don't understand how this happens.
But luckily, we live in a world nowadays, Bugsy, where you have the power to take care of your family and do something if you had to.
Yeah, for now.
That's what all that bad shit, as horrible as it was, it all led to where we're at today. But I was just talking about family shit. I didn't mean to get political. I guess I ran Bob Tism off again. I'll have to.
You didn't get political?
It's hard not to, man. There's so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
There. I mean,
well,
guys,
I just don't think it discredits one person's suffering to talk about somebody else's.
No,
I didn't say anything that took away from the suffering of the African slaves. I just pointed out that it's a human thing. It's not a racial thing. Because they were enslaving one another. That's what they were selling us, was people they had caught enslaved already themselves. And that's still going on in the Middle East every day.
Yeah, I mean, I dare not even say the 3-letter word that they were involved in more slavery coming to this country than any other group.
Yeah,
that's a fact. I think it's a fact.
Right. Yep.
So what are you working on, Shane? What do you got?
This one's got a nice Bama edge on it.
Oh, that's Michael Martin in it.
Yeah.
Is that got one of
Lee sharpened that for you?
Yeah, Lee gave it to me.
Nice.
I don't know how Lee gets such a good edge. Have you ever seen his plates? There's like three little pieces of diamonds left on it. Like you can count the diamonds left on that plate. I'm like, how the fuck does that thing even work?
Hey, he gets it going though.
I know it. He does. He gets them sharp, but you run your finger across it. It's just slick aluminum. Every now and then, you'll feel a little grain of dust.
You know what those feel like?
Yeah.
I miss his videos, man. I wish Lee was on more videos.
Yeah, I do too.
He's busy as he can be, isn't he?
Yeah,
probably.
John, you wore out, ain't you?
Buddy, I'm exhausted. I'm hungry.
Your voice is literally cracking.
No, let me tell you something. I fell asleep and I set my alarm like for about 8:20. So when I wake up, I can kind of shake it off. Yeah. I have not, like I said, I don't know if you heard me earlier, Shane. I've been dealing with Adderall XR. I take 2 types of ADHD medicine. Right. And the extended release, they haven't been able to get for like 4 weeks. This has something to do with the Strait of Hormuz and imported medicine, I know. But so I went around, my doctor had me check with all these different pharmacies. So I haven't been able to get it. Dude, I've been a zombie for 2 days. And today they finally got it switched off to an instant release that I can pick up tomorrow before I go blow my mom's gutters. But yeah, I'm not long for this world, dude. I'll fall asleep and I'll just be out. I'm just dead. And standing around for 4 hours, it doesn't seem like much. It seems like a nothing. But if you're doing nothing except dealing with a couple of case people, it'll suck your fucking soul, man.
Yeah.
It is hardcore.
Nah, you gotta just you gotta find your zen, man.
I do. I find my zen. But again, even if you find your zen through that 4 hours and you can skip through that 4 hours, you get home, your cat comes and chills with you, and next thing you know, you're just like crash on the couch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nap time's serious, man. I'm like if I can and I don't have anything going on at all, 2 and 10 is my sleep schedule. I fall asleep around 2, like no matter what I'm doing. If I don't have anything going on and I'm just chilling around, rainy day, 2 o'clock
That's not
and
bad
10
at all,
p.m.
dude. That's
It
not
just
bad
seems to
at
be
all.
when my body's like, all right, man. Like,
But guys, if I said anything out of the way,
You didn't say anything out of the way. You're
I'm
talking
sitting
about
here trying to think of what I said that could be.
no. Why do you think you said something bad? You didn't
Because
say
Bob checked out.
We're about what? Because Bob, we don't mean nothing by it. If you're still here, buddy, don't think anytime we talk about life always.
Well, I was going to
ties in-
say hello, but I'm pretty grossed out by what I just stepped into. I don't know what I said that could have been offensive. I've been
nothing. It's just
really been trying to be friends
right.
with Bob. But
I want to be friends with everybody, but I want everybody to suck up their guts, put on their big boy or girl panties, and don't take your fucking shit so seriously. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
For God's sakes, man.
It's not just that everybody's different, John. It's also everybody has experienced this life differently.
I know, but I'm just saying.
We all have a different perception.
But I'm saying if you walk into a live, chances are it's not going to be people blowing up different sides of political stuff. If you hear something you don't agree with, let this conversation finish out because it's probably somebody trying to figure something out for themselves that you might be able to help them see clarity on. But if not, that's fine. I don't want it to be a place where you don't feel comfortable, but at the end of the day, fuck it.
Yeah. I like Bob too, Paul. That's what I was getting at. I didn't.
I love it.
You can't be so soft these days, man.
No, you can't. I'm tired. I'm tired of soft bitches, and I mean that generally. All of you are soft bitches, and I love you all. But
I'm a soft bitch about certain subjects.
I'm a soft bitch. We all have to suck up and not take everything so personally offensive. Like, don't think that when somebody's expressing a question that they have about their own navigation of a political world that they don't understand, don't take it as an attack against you because you might think you understand it differently than them.
Right.
Help them see it.
But yeah, like, it's just like, every policy that's written is going to affect everybody differently. I know people in the chat. I'm not going to mention his name. I know a guy in the chat right now that I know for a fact doesn't like Donald Trump. I'm still friends with the guy. That's fine. But apparently, there's been things about policies that he's written that affected him negatively. And I understand that. I get it. I don't hold that against him. I just don't know what I said that was so gross.
And don't assume that it's something you said, Shane. Everybody brings their own, me too, baggage into things like this. So you can hear something that wasn't even something you said or intended.
Maybe he came in at the end. It was something.
It might not have even been you. It might have been some shit I said too.
Paul thinks it was because I brought up Donnie, but I didn't bring him up in a negative manner. That was our first conversation.
Donnie Trump?
No, when I brought up Donnie Bless, I didn't say anything negative about him.
I mean, are you not supposed to even bring him up?
Again, why not bring him up? That's soft bullshit. We can talk about Hobeck. We can talk about Donnie. We can talk about Greg Megford. We can talk about people we love.
Hey, we can talk about the fact that I have to rescale every one of these.
No, why?
I failed. They're not. Well, here's a really good. Look at that pinhole. Can you see how close that is? It's actually in the chamfer.
It's a little too close to the edge there.
Can't fix it. Just can't.
But wait, I want to go back to us being a community and not taking words that we all have things kind of embedded into the way we feel about them and necessarily let those be trigger words when we hear them operated by somebody else. Have a little bit
But
more.
when I said that, I'm not even. That's what I was going back to. Donnie's impression of the term "good old boy" means something totally different than what I think when I hear that term, and that's totally fair. Depending on where he's from and what his life experiences are, good old boys might be a horrible thing to him.
Well, your books have to have more than 10 pages.
Right.
But I didn't say that. Not to hurt anybody's feeling, but I come from the school of fuck 'em, feed 'em, fish heads. I love everybody until you show me something different. And if I've seen it different, chances are somebody else has too. If not, I'm just flawed.
What's Sarah Rick talking about? A mini stitch.
Mini stitches out, dude.
Yeah.
Blade HQ has them. We don't have them yet at the stitch, the Ramlock stitch.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a mini, just like the MSI.
Okay. Well, what about somebody recently posted a picture, and I don't even know what to believe anymore, but they posted a picture of a Manix 3 with the contoured scales, but it looked smaller than a Manix 2 to me. Now, if it's smaller, it makes sense. If all they did was change it to a contoured scale, I think that was a complete waste of time.
Yeah,
but
I mean, well,
if it's a different size, then that makes all kinds of sense.
I don't remember seeing one.
It was on the Spyderco Facebook page. Somebody had a picture of a Manix 2 and a Manix 3, and there was probably a half-inch difference.
If you're seeing it on those type of sources, it's probably a real deal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just haven't seen it at any of their like concept booth or anything. You know what I mean? Like I haven't seen.
No, I haven't seen any rumblings of it. And usually I hear about it from the stuff that's coming in, but a lot of times Spyderco doesn't let us know on stuff like that.
And that's probably something too that they would pump that out if they had like a prototype to check out. Right.
I talked to someone on the phone every day for months. I love that person, but I said Michelle Obama has a dick. He got blocked for it. Look,
Mike.
Look.
Hey, we all saw it.
Obama being a man thing is fucking funny.
We all saw
it. If you can't laugh at it, you're too sensitive. It goes back to
look. Big Mike is packing. We all saw it.
Yeah.
I think it's funny.
I don't even think it requires forgiveness, Paul. I think humor's just humor.
Yeah, man. I really, when it comes to comedy, especially, you know what? I'm from Jersey, and if you got a thin skin, man,
just I was watching before I came on here. Big Jay Okerson. I love Jay, man.
I really like Shane Gillis, man. He's killing me.
I love Shane Gillis.
He's killing me, man.
Yeah.
I like Artie Lang too, as crazy as he is.
There was a recent skit on SNL where they were like anchors talking about like news. It was one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time.
The deep end so far.
They went so far down the racist rants. It was hilarious from both sides. It was so funny, but it was so good to see. You know what I mean? Like that kind of comedy, like back and like open, is what we need to do.
Hey, y'all talk for 1 second while I go potty. I'm gonna take a quick pee.
I remember spending hours, listening to Eddie Murphy make fun of white people, and I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I love that shit. There was
when they make fun of stereotypes, there's a reason for it.
Have you ever
He never said anything that wasn't true.
Have you ever seen Eastbound and Down?
I haven't.
Dude, that shit is funny. It's really ridiculous, but it's funny. And at one point, Michael Pena is like he's like a cartel leader or something, and they're sitting there talking, and what's his name? Damn it, I can't remember the actor's name now. Slipped my mind. Danny McBride. Yeah. Danny McBride has said something like racist to him because he's a Spanish guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, racism? I love to racism. So he just starts ripping on the white dude. Then Danny McBride never gives up.
It's a white guy playing a Hispanic guy.
Well, no, that's Mike. That's Michael Pena.
Michael Pena, Spanish. Shooter.
He's Spanish as hell.
Was it he in Shooter?
Yeah.
He was Agent Nick Montana in Shooter. Yeah.
Yeah, he's that other. I can't remember the name of the other movie too, like Low Down or something. Yeah. He's. What's up, Mo Finkel?
I'll say this one thing about racism in the South that I grew up with that I do think's hilarious is I remember every Hispanic joke I ever heard when I was a kid was about Mexicans being lazy. And they're the hardest working motherfuckers on the planet.
That's why it's funny, because it pisses them off right away.
I guess, but yeah, I never understood where that one came from. How that whole joke line, like literally every joke I ever heard, I never even met a Mexican. Like I don't think I ever even saw one until I was a teenager.
Saw one.
Well, I grew up really poor. We didn't
Like
leave
it's
the
an
house.
endangered species.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see my first black person until I was probably 10. Saw my first black person and my first midget in the same grocery store on the same day. I got the shit beat out of me for pointing at both of them. I didn't know what they were. I've never seen. I grew up so far out in the country and so poor that, we didn't take trips to town. If my mom worked in town, so she brought groceries home with her. We never went to town. That just wasn't a thing.
Yeah, and what, your school was all white?
Yeah, because it was super remote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
growing up today,
miles from a city limit. Yeah. I was talking to Cheeto today, man. I've got this guy that mows my grass, and he's literally one of my favorite human beings, man. But he's probably about 5'2", 240-pound little Guatemalan, riding his little zero turn, and you can't tell him and his wife apart from the back. They're the same build, and they are two of the absolute sweetest people. They are absolute fucking gems, dude. And when he priced mowing my grass, it was cheaper than everybody that had ever given me a price, and I just wasn't having it. I pay him the same thing I paid everybody else. I'm not paying that man less because and he's the most dependable I've ever had. But
here's my steak knife, Josh.
That's a hell of a steak knife. What is that called? The reason I texted Cheeto though was every 2 weeks because he keeps up when the last time he cut it. So at the 2 week mark, he'll start texting me, and it's always the same text. It says, "Push grass today?" ? He doesn't have a push mower, so I think Cheeto probably assumed I was being sarcastic, and I really wasn't. I was just curious if that's just what they call mowing grass in Spanish or in Mexico or Guatemala, wherever he's from, or if that's just a breakdown in Google Translate. Because I have to text him because he didn't hardly speak any English. So I know he's translating it on his phone, but he always says, "Push grass today?" ? And I know what he means, so it didn't matter. But I was just trying to educate myself on why he says push instead of mow. I don't know.
I used to have a friend of mine. His mom used to yell at him all the time, "Put the vacuum, put the vacuum." It reminds me of that.
Yeah. And maybe it's just an old saying from back when everybody did push mow the grass. Maybe, they called it pushing grass back then. So
maybe it has to do with pushing the grass.
I'd be shocked if I found out he did that.
Mucho mota fumar.
He's old school Hispanic, man. You can tell he's
more old school than this. I'm kidding. That's not old school.
He's so cute, dude. When he pulls up in that Toyota T100, he's literally looking through the steering wheel.
He was on live with us one night in his little.
Raise your head up a little bit to see him in there. This little bitty guy in this Toyota T100 looking under the steering wheel over the dash.
Average sized gentleman.
And I hope he makes a fucking $1 million a year. I really do, man. The fact that him and his wife get out there every day and do what they got to do to earn a living. Because I have a feeling he doesn't have any downtime.
He was working. He was on live with us one night, like at midnight, doing still business, wasn't he?
Who?
Cheeto.
Oh, no, I was talking about my grass guy.
Oh, your grass guy.
Yeah. No, Cheeto works.
Yeah, if you're slinging grass, dude, you're working 24/7.
Yeah, it was so lucky the way I found him.
You
Because
missed my
I had a
point.
white guy been mowing my grass, and it was knee high. And every time I text him, I'll be there in the morning. I'll be there in the morning. I'll be there in the morning. And me and my grandson went out to get in the car one day, and I see this T100 come around the corner with a trailer hauling a zero turn, and I just sat on the horn until he stopped. And I run out in the street. Scared him a little bit, I think, because to him, I'm an enormous human being.
Ice, baby.
I said, how much? And he got out and he said, 60? I was like, no, 80. And he was so confused until I handed him the money. And he smiled and he had one of those teeth that's outlined in gold. It's adorable, dude. I love it.
It's for the people like you. He's like, thank you, gringo.
I paid him $100 today.
That's awesome, dude. My dad's we got him on a contract, and last year they were Johnny on the spot, and this year they're slack, man. I've got to call him, and I don't know what's going on. If my brother's not paying the invoices like he should be electronically or what. But I've got to do that tomorrow. I've got to call roofers tomorrow too. That's my first thing I got to do. First thing I've got to do is go to Costco and get my meds. Then I've got to call the roofers and get them up to my dad's.
If you call a roofer with a English surname, you're making a mistake.
No, I'm not. I've got two roofers that this is from some storm damage that happened last year up at my dad's neighborhood. Bugsy, when you work from home, are you doing work stuff or are you working on your own stuff?
Oh no, I'm just not out of town. I'm still going to job sites.
I got you. You're just
I don't have a real big yard.
Day tripping.
It's a complete pain in the ass to mow.
Yeah, I get to come home, and I didn't have to go to New York City, which is nice.
You can't get a pattern going and just back and forth, or it's a pain in the ass to mow.
Yeah,
not big, but it's a lot of weed eating. There's a drainage ditch all the way around the house, and it's hard to explain. But yeah, if you could just if you had this much property, and you could just zip back and forth, you could be done in shit. On a zero turn, you'd probably be done in 10 minutes, but it takes you an hour and a half.
See those cool new mowers that are remote control?
Yeah,
you can just drop them off the back of your truck.
I'll tell you, Ian G's got one of those. Ian G's got a big one of those. When he moved to Dallas, I got one.
Well, the guy I used to own a mechanic shop with, his dad, he reminded me of that guy on Gremlins. He was a part-time inventor, and he took a 20-inch lawn push mower deck and installed electric motors on the wheels, and it didn't have a lawnmower engine. It had an electric motor with a huge weed eater head hanging out the bottom.
Oh, even better.
It was remote control, and the front of it was open. Like the string was exposed, so he could pull up to the house and run down the side of the house and weed eat right up against the foundation.
You have it on a like a remote control car thing?
Yeah. Well, it was actually more expensive than that. It was like one of those high-dollar remote control airplane controllers.
Oh, cool.
But and he admitted it was no faster.
No, but it's just the fact that
for an hour and a half staring it around. And he's like the first 5 times he mowed the yard, it took him 3 times as long, to get the rhythm.
to get control of it.
Jets and shit, right? It's sitting there in their shade, drinking your tea, making it happen.
But he put it just had a
night 30K Hunter.
It had
have a good night, buddy.
Had a DeWalt cordless drill dock. He'd just stick his cordless drill battery in it. It'd mow for like 15 minutes and go dead. He'd swap the battery out and go back to mow it. He didn't care that it wasn't any more convenient. He just thought it was, he thought it was cool because he did it, and it was cool.
It's absolutely cool.
No, Paul, it's not. But I know it's not worth that technically, but to me, in the past, since I had my heart surgery, he's the first dependable the first dependable person I've had. So
It is so worth it if you can find somebody that does a good job for a price that you're comfortable paying. It's a great value.
And I'm not gonna lie, part of it's selfish. I like feeling like I've blessed him.
Yeah. Hey, dude,
I enjoy it.
that's a win-win.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't always seek out the best deal. I seek out most of the time the deal that brings my heart the most joy.
That's all that matters, brother.
Yeah.
So what do y'all got planned for the week, dude? You gonna be working tomorrow, Shane?
I didn't get to work today because he was coming, and I wanted to make sure I was here to pay him. So
holler at me tomorrow. I'm gonna get out of here early and go get something to eat before I fall asleep. I'm gonna go to Taco Bell. I just can't. I can't quit thinking about it. But call me tomorrow, Shane. I'm off. I've got to go over to my mom's and blow gutters, but I'll be around in the afternoon.
I may have to make a trip up there before Blade Show anyway. Yeah, same reason as always. My laser guys. And his defense this time.
Got to be before Blade Show, because after Blade Show, I told you what happens.
What?
The week after Blade, I'm going to be working from 10 to 6. 6 days a week. 5 days a week. Because Tate's having his
Oh yeah.
But if you come before Blade Show any day but Thursday, we're golden. We just want to come after 2.
Oh, that's when John leaves.
Yeah, just just call me tomorrow. We'll figure it out. And
I don't have the knives ready yet.
No, but just we'll get it planned out. And
by the end of next week, I'm going to need to ride up there because I don't want to badmouth him because this time it's not his fault. But,
no, well, I'll tell you something funny. I found out today talking to Tate that the other day, remember when I told you we were having the Blade Show conversation? I was like, well, I can tell you where I'm going to be. He took Tate in the back. He goes, I don't like the way he said that. And Tate said, I don't think you should say anything to him about it. I told Tate, I said, Tate, don't get this confused. I make more on YouTube than I do here. This is part-time for me. I will walk the fuck out and leave him in the biggest tight he's ever been in. He does not want to fuck with me.
Yeah.
Guys, I love y'all. I'm sorry I'm paling out early. I'm just fucking tired.
I saw you fall asleep a few minutes ago.
Dude, it's not. I'm not in my set. When I don't have my
I knew you was exhausted. I saw you nod off when I was talking.
Hey man, get that sleep when
you're sorry if I ruffled any feathers. I swear that
you didn't ruffle any feathers, dude. This is an open forum, and Bob Tisms.
I don't understand how you can talk about the suffering of one class of people.
It's everybody, man. We're all in it together. It's the human race.
I wasn't attempting to take away from the suffering of anybody else. That's what
no. I don't think anybody. I sure didn't see it that way. I don't think anybody else did. But guys, in that spirit, look out for the guy or gal to your left, regardless of who they are. Look out for the guy or gal to your right, regardless of who they are. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart, and always choose debate, not hate. Remember, things grow us together. Only discontent and not communicating drive us apart. Communicate, not hate. I love y'all.
See y'all.
Peace. Later, guys.